Today we will be looking at the Soundstrike Cryolophosaurus, one of the newest species in the Primal attack line. Let's begin by looking at articulation. The articulation is very much like what's been seen on most of the electronic figures with the exception of the jaw, which opens and closes on its own as opposed to being part of an action feature. The arms can turn a full 360 and pivot in and out, as do the legs, but they're still a bit stiff on my figure, and I won't risk snapping them off. Now looking at details starting with the head sculpt, the first thing that one notices when looking at the figure is the distinct crest on the head, which is covered in a combination of scaly patterns and striations like those seen on worn bone. Behind the crest is a double-ridged appendage that runs a short ways down the neck and continues into the dorsal ridge that runs down the back. The rest of the head is covered in more of these pebbly scale textures, and what seems to be a small wattle hangs from the throat just behind the lower jaw. The teeth are gnarled and bunched up on the upper jaw, while on the lower jaw they are rather sparse. The interior of the mouth also has some great detail, particularly on the tongue where individual taste buds have been sculpted in. The arms are muscular and show off more scaly details and striations, and the claws are once again left unpainted. Moving down to the body, the level of detail increases greatly. More scales and skin folds cover the torso, and the outline of the rib cage is displayed very clearly on both flanks. The bulky legs feature even more minute scale details and very prominent folds of skin that overlap one another, and these continue down into the very avian feet that feature large plate-like scales and long talons. The tail features even more scales and bony humps along its length, and it has a slight S-shaped curve towards its end. The base color of this figure is a bright yellow topped with a large patch of earthy brown on the back that also runs up the neck and covers a small portion of the face. This same color adorns the talons, aside from the underside where they are left bare, something that is quite lazy on Mattel's part. The lower jaw and a small portion of the throat are colored a light beige. The crest and neck ridges, both being separately made parts, are cast in a light shade of orange. The interior of the mouth, aside from the light pink of the tongue, is otherwise unpainted. Finally, the eyes are a greenish yellow with a round brown pupil. Cryolophosaurus sports a combined head strike and thrash action, both of which are activated by the tail. When performed, the feature will sound off 4 different sounds, one of which reuses the roar of the Indominus Rex. And that concludes today's review of the Jurassic World Primal Attack Cryolophosaurus from the Soundstrike lineup. Mattel certainly hasn't stopped exploring the diverse world of dinosaur species, and they've certainly got a winner with this one. Holding aside the mishap with the paint apps on the claws and talons, the overall paint scheme is bold and eye-catching, and the detail in the sculpt is crafted beautifully. So that's all for now, everyone. Thank you for watching, and as always, stay tuned for more.